a load of fun. Why was she stressing so much? This was Matt. They were practically brother and sister, except for that one time. Shit, why did she have to think of that? She needed to concentrate on breathing and trying not to pass out. After a long, deep breath, she squared her shoulders and opened the door. Holy crap. Matt's brown eyes and perfectly shaped mouth were the same, yet he was so much better looking than she'd remembered. A man now, not a boy. And the smile he gave her sent shivers through her body. She knew that grin. It changed his face. He could look really serious and foreboding if he wanted to, but when he whipped out that grin, he became a tease, a wink, a promise. Wow, he said, his voice lower. Maybe not. You look great. Me? She pointed at him. You look the same, just old. He paused, waited. Mind if I come in? Of course. She quickly stood aside, and she wasn't disappointed that there'd been no hug. Hugs were overdone. They hadn't seen each other for years. She closed the door, focusing on the image of his smile, even as she understood it would haunt her dreams for ages. Matt left his luggage off to the side and watched Sam turn in her Comic-Con shirt, with her copper-colored hair shifting over her shoulders. She was a woman now, beautifully sculpted with curves that hadn't been there when he'd last seen her. But that shirt? That was pure Sammy. He couldn't get over it. The pictures online hadn't done her justice at all. She didn't have prom queen beauty. That wasn't Sam. She could stand to put on a couple of pounds, and her smile was a little crooked. But she had amazing green eyes that lit up like firecrackers. Standing there in front of him was everything he'd always liked about Sammy, with the addition of womanly grace that only time and experience could bring. He couldn't wait another moment. Come here, he said, holding his arms out, taking the first step. A blush stole over her cheeks, but she came willingly, and then she was in his arms. A second later, hers went around his waist, under his jacket. It wasn't the MIT hug he was used to. They'd never pressed this close, never hung on for beat after beat of his quickening heart. Damn, she smelled good. He pulled back. She released him instantly, but he wasn't quite ready to abandon ship. He held onto her shoulders and gave her a head-to-toe inspection. Logan was right. You've turned into a stunner. Her brows, a little darker than her hair, came together as she frowned and took a half-step back. You don't have to say that stuff to me, Matt. I don't need to be flattered. You think I wasn't being sincere? No, I mean, I know I'm okay, but I'm not. I'm in shape because I think better when I'm running. It's not about anything else. I'm glad you're fit, but I wasn't lying. I think you're beautiful, and that's just the truth. Okay, she said as a blush darkened. That's fair enough. I think you're beautiful too. He laughed. I think the word you were looking for was handsome. I hope. Fine, handsome, hot as hell, drop-dead gorgeous, mouth-watering. Okay, that's enough. Matt laughed, mostly at himself. How could he have forgotten her quirky tendency to drive them all nuts with the thesaurus in her brain? Hey, he said, giving her another once-over. You're taller. By a lot. When did that happen? Sam looked confused, and then dropped her gaze to her toes, peeking out from under the hem of her slacks. I'm wearing heels, she said, and then lifted her right leg to show him the proof. Anyway, she stuck out her hand. The key rested in her palm. Here's the key. Matt accepted it, wondering why she suddenly seemed so nervous. She moved back and turned in a jerky motion. This is it, she said, gesturing widely. It's still a prototype. I'm working at the kinks. She took off, walking down the hall, and he lagged a few seconds behind until she reached the junction of kitchen and living room. The fridge and pantry are fully stocked. Feel free to use or consume anything. She picked up some brochure from the kitchen counter. You'll find everything you need in here, including chefs who will come here to cook or have some.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.